Okay, here we are at part two for the Resident Evil Afterlife speculation. Um, now that we got most of that crap out of the way, we'll get to what I actually intended the video to be in the first place, me just speculating on the plot. Uh, no real point in speculating on who's in it, because that's well known. We've got Chris Redfield, we've got Wesker. Do we really care about anyone else in those two editions? Um, Visually speaking, everyone's already talked about this, but I'll hit on it real quick. Huge Resident Evil 5 inspirations. Uh, the Ouroboros. I'm thinking it's not pure Ouroboros. It's going to be an evolution of T-Virus, possibly created by Umbrella. Maybe that's them trying to cull in the zombies. Maybe they feel that they can control the zombies through an Ouroboros evolution. It's not really thought, because if you look in the movie, or in the one, Wesker's sitting on his throne, he just has a dog sitting there, and in the trailers we see the dog's head split open. So it's making me think that they can control the Ouroboros. That's their solution to the zombie apocalypse. Not a half bad solution either. Uh, so that's my early thoughts on that. Um, no fucking idea how they're gonna do the metal thing on Claire's chest, or why they would just leave her laying around. It could be the Brennan Alice. I don't know. That's probably what it's gonna be. I'm not sure if they're gonna take it straight from Resident Evil 5, have that operated, but you never know. They are taking a lot of other things. Um, what else with the plot? Be curious exactly what goes on in Alaska. How they're gonna directly pin Umbrella, and what the hell? Why is Umbrella bothering to do that stuff? Um, that one really does have me. It does seem there's gonna be a big emphasis on Alaska and Tokyo and LA. But I think the real question is going to be the clones and how the clones play into this. The Alice clones, the army of Alice clones. I'm halfway thinking that the scenes we're seeing early on are from with the clones attacking the big underground base. Whether that might actually be in the beginning of the movie is what I'm thinking, and they might botch the entire operation. Is kind of my thoughts. Is the clones attack? Alice defeats, or Wesker and his, probably more Wesker than his security force. Although I'm sure they get a few, or take him out, and kind of original Alice is left to kind of see what happened with everybody else. That's my first initial thought. It could also be towards the end that Alice goes, and then she comes back to LA and she hooks up with her clone army after she gathers the few survivors. Epic end battle between Umbrella's blackguards and everybody else. So, could have an awesome epic battle. We could not, because there was a lot of clones, and we've only seen 3 really in the trailers. So where's everybody else? Well, I suppose they can always say, well, there was a lot of clones there, but normally, 90% of them actually weren't ready to be hatched, and so they died. I guess that's one way to write it out, and does make a certain amount of sense. Why they would make that many clones of Alice doesn't make so many sense, but this is Resident Evil. I'm curious how they're gonna play Chris. Whether is he gonna be a cop? Is he gonna be a special forces operator? Is he gonna have a pass with Umbrella? And what the hell are they gonna explain with Wesker? Is Wesker's infection what allows him to control those dogs? And is that what they're doing? That's kind of my thought. Is that Wesker winds up infecting himself, so they can control the new Ouroboros. Very different from the games, of course, but I kind of always have seen the movie franchises. In Resident Evil 0, it's revealed Wesker once had a choice between the 2 older heads of Umbrella. One was a more research guy, didn't really care about business. The other was Spencer, who was all business. Wesker went with Spencer, and Spencer kind of kept him on the sidelines from there on. My interpretation of the kind of my ideals with where this franchise has always been is this is if Wesker decided not to go with Spencer and betrayed Spencer and killed him, and the other scientists who I forget his name right now. Just kind of let Wesker run the company as gratitude because he never cared really about the business part, and so this is what Wesker would turn Umbrella into, which does kind of make a little sense. But I digress. That's kind of my catchphrase. What else plot-wise? I'm curious why she picks LA to go to. I really don't have much to say on that one. She flies to LA in her Amelia Earhart get up there. She really does in the trailer look like Amelia Earhart there for a bit. I'm wondering if she pre-planned to go there after Alaska to like get a ship or something, or whether she hears a new signal, because there's clearly people in Alaska. Oh, did you see one scene in there where you see a city blowing up and Wesker kind of getting in his super VTOL aircraft thing, which, I'm amazed how much technology continues to advance in the Resident Evil franchise after the world has been destroyed. You always loved that. Like the first Resident Evil had the 3D projector in the Queen's chamber, and it kind of looked how you would expect like an early hologram to look like. Very basic, not the best graphics. And then, literally, I think in movie timeline, a year later, after the world's destroyed, in Resident Evil 3, they had the lifelike hologram projection, like Star Trek-wise, that can be anywhere in the entire facility. That was a freaking huge jump in technology. But when he blows up in Wesker's hair, I'm partially... I think that might actually be Raccoon City. They could do like a start with a flashback, because they've been doing flashbacks at the beginning of all the sequels, so it might show Wesker was in Raccoon City. It could also be LA's blowing up, but I didn't see the big buildings in that scene. I didn't freeze frame it, so I could be wrong there. But I think that he's blowing up Raccoon City in that one, so it could be a flashback that he was in Raccoon City the whole time and he flew out on his own. I don't know. Possibly. I'm still wondering why the big guy has a friggin' axe, as I'm kind of watching the trailer here. And how they're going to explain this guy just being in the first one, they had the one zombie that dragged the fire axe around, but he didn't really use it. And then again, he could be an Ouroboros, so he could have much better, abilities. Wesker shoots a guy. Nice to know the bad guys. They must have really great dental plans, because they work for a company where your bosses shoot you for, apparently no real reason. There must be some sort of benefit. I'd be curious if she, really did. This is the other interesting aspect. I wonder if they're going to do, or deal with, or kind of ignore. Umbrella's the only bit of civilization left. If she really destroys Umbrella, what's left for the scattered survivors? In a lot of ways, you really shouldn't want Umbrella destroyed. It's the only way humanity really would survive is with Umbrella, because they're dug in, they're organized, they have technology. So in a lot of ways, if you really think about this franchise, do you want to see Umbrella destroyed? Are they going to fully destroy Umbrella, or does she just take over and go to all the remaining little camps? Oh, that's the other thing I could foresee her doing with the clones is she sent all the clones out to the different facilities all over the world, thus killing probably well over half the remaining human population. Way to go, Alice, if she does that. If she just kind of takes out Wesker and says to everyone else, you now work for me, and we're going to help humanity rebuild, way to go. If not, she's an asshole. Thanks for screwing over the race. That's just my early thoughts. Tell me what you think.